Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. Note the new website address. Today's project is another Ferrero Friday project, and this time it is a little Four Ferrero easel box card. So Four Ferreros just nestle nicely in there. Simple drawer. Not one I've invented, but I couldn't resist doing it with this lovely new stamp set that we've got, which is called Coffee Cafe. And it's got some super sentiments. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I know lots of people who are. And the great thing about this stamp set is it comes with coordinating dies. So all of these dies coordinate with all of these elements. So this one I've kept very basic and flat, but you could easily die cut the coffee cup, you could die cut the topper, and even these little coffee beans have their own little die as well, along with the little topper that they put in the top of your coffee, and these tiny teensy little tags that cut out this high here. So you've got lots of options with this, and I can see me using this a lot. It's been really popular with my face-to-face classes, so I hope it will be popular with my online customers too. So that's the project we're going to make. So without further ado, let's get on with it. That one I made with early espresso outside and crumb cake drawer. I thought I'd reverse the colourway and do it the other way around. So first of all then I'll put all the measurements on my blog post, and I'll do them in both centimetres and inches. I will try and do both as I go along. So to start off with, you're going to need a piece of card that is 5.5 by 6 7/8 of an inch, which is it's 17.5 centimetres by 14 centimetres, and you're going to score that very simply at 2 3/4 and 4 1/8. Then you're going to rotate and score the short edge at 1 3/8 and 4 1/8 again. So that's going to be our outer. Now we're going to do our box slider to go inside. We're going to do all the scoring in one go. So for this you're going to need a piece of card that is 5 3/8 by 5 3/8, and that is 13.7 by 13.7, and you're going to score at 1 3/8 on all four sides. So 1 3/8, and that's 3.5 centimetres. Okay, so you're just doing a basic box. Okay, so that's going to be our box. Now we need to do our easel for the top. So you make this in whatever colour you've created your outer from. So we've used crumb cake. So for this you're going to need 2 3/4 by 5.5 inches. So that's 7 by 14 centimetres, and you're going to score at 1 3/8 and 2 3/4. Okay. So that's all our scoring done. I've done some cutting already because that just makes life easier, and hopefully it makes the video quicker for you. So now what you'll need is a pair of scissors, and you'll need your burnishing tool as well. So I've got a bone folder here. So go along and burnish all of those creases. And as always, we're folding where you've scored. That's where you fold, because that's where you've stretched the fibres. Okay, so let's do that on all of our pieces. And this helps give you a nice crisp finish. And then our card. Okay. So let's make our outer. And to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to cut up on the two long sides, like so. And I'm actually going to just notch that out slightly. So that will, because these are square edges, it will still fold nice and square, but it means you've got a little bit less bulk in the fold that you've got. Okay, so that's the cutting on that outer drawer piece. Now I'm going to do this in the way I tend to do all of my square boxes. so almost like a cartwheel, I always think of it. So I'm just turning and notching out on all four corners, like so. Now you could, if you wanted, actually on this one, in fact we will do, we'll make that the front. Actually thinking about it, this is the problem with preparing in advance. I'm actually going to do it as a more traditional box, and that's because what I don't want is what I've done on here, which is to have a flap on the very front, because you're going to be punching that. So if you actually do it in the other way, so do two ends like this, and that's going to be one of the sides, so this edge then can be the front, so we're going to make this our front edge. So if we fold all those flaps in, I'll show you what I mean in a moment. I'm going to use fuse because it's a box, we've got springiness going on, so we want to make sure that our box stays nice and together. So fuse, remember our flick and a flick at the end of it, and then just line up these corners so that they're nice and square. Like so. And because we've notched out, we haven't got anything visible on the top. So this one edge here is going to be our front edge, and that's going to be where we're going to punch. So we're going to use a 3/4 inch punch, and literally, I mean, you can measure if you want to, but I just line up and cut our little notch out. Now we can go on and create the box, and what we're going to do is fold up the base, the side with those on the outside, and then fold the top, because that way we can seal those flaps and it doesn't, and our drawer then doesn't get stuck on the flaps. So we're going to put the glue on the inside of those flaps and on these ones here as well. The thing to remember with fuse, you don't have to be forceful with fuse. You can literally, there we go. So tuck our flap in, and we're lining up against that crease, because remember those are nice straight lines. Fold our top over, and then to make sure we've got the right fit, pop our box in as well. So there we go. Okay, so there's our box. Now it's just a case of adding everything else on. As I've got my fuse out, I'm just going to add my card base to the top there, like so. The door's just blown open. I have children and husband at home today, so I'll apologise in advance if we get disturbances. They're busy taking stuff to the tip at the moment. So I'm hoping, so there we go. So that's going to be our easel. So now I'm going to create our layers on here. So I've got, for the base layer, so again, same colour, so this is crumb cake. That's going to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 inches, 3.5 by 3.5. We've then got a layer of early espresso, which is 2.5 by 2.5. Yeah. Actually, when I get a moment, I will find my snail, because we're just using flat adhering now. Adhering? I don't know. So there we go. And this is what we're going to stamp on. So we've got a piece of card, so that's 2.5 by 2.5, 3 by 3 centimetres, and we are going to use our pear pizzazz, some crumb cake, and early espresso. So I'm going to first of all stamp the outline of this and hopefully get it nice and square. Oh, I've made a mess of my block there, but don't worry, it doesn't matter. Now I'm not going right at the bottom. There we go. I'm going to come in with my coffee beans either side. I just think I actually love the smell of coffee, but I don't do coffee flavour at all. I even was on holiday recently. I had a fabulous holiday. Those of you who follow me on Pinterest will have seen I've been out in the Greek islands sailing, and I even tried coffee for a second time. I tried it twice while I was on holiday. Trying to close the door, which keeps blowing open, and I still don't like coffee. But you know, as I tell the children, you've got to keep trying these things. Hopefully you didn't get too much of a headshot. There we go, that literally just fits on there. And then if you use an aqua painter, really, really fine, I'm just going to come in. This is always something I sort of was taught to do, and that's just to ground your images. And then I'm just going to come in, and I'm not going to colour all of it, I'm just going to add some sort of shading. I think it's a latte macchiato, this one. And then for my final bit, I'm actually going to use a different stamp. I think this one is lovely. This one says, "Thanks a latte." And this is a perfect one for layering up or cutting out and adding an extra bit of dimension on it. I won't do that right now, but it would really still make that pop. So I'm going to come around and just, as I've added a bit of edge, I'm going to just edge that. Sometimes I sponge, sometimes I don't. I find just dipping the edge just quite nice, adds a nice little effect. And again, you could layer that up on dimensionals or just leave it flat, as I'm going to here. Okay, right. And then all you need to do is then attach this to the base. So you're going to just put glue on the bottom half of the card, and I find it easiest to pop it flat like so. And there's our top, and then we're going to decorate the rest of the box. And obviously I probably should have done this while it was flat, that would have been far more sensible, but as usual, once I'm in the throes of a video, I want to get on with the box making. So what I've done is I've pre-cut 3 pieces of DSP and 3 pieces of card. This is to go around the back. So the base is early espresso, and those are 2 5/8 by 1 1/4, and the DSP is 2 1/2 by 1 1/8. Okay, I've now misplaced the third piece. Okay, nothing new there. Okay, so let's just do this 2 sides then. Okay, and just pop that on the side there. And that gives a narrow border. Obviously on smaller projects, often a narrow border, it works, you know, very effectively, just to give you a nice effect. Okay. And down on the floor, of course, is the rest of my project. Right, so we've got a stepper here, and that stepper has been made with a layer of early espresso. Then I've put a layer of crumb cake and then a piece of DSP, and that front panel is 2 3/8 by 1 1/8. The DSP is 2 1/4 by 1 inches. Sorry, no, that's the front panel. I'm lying. I'm telling you stories. The stepper is 7 by 3 centimetres, 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. The next layer is 2 3/4 by 1 inch, and the top layer is 2 3/4 by 7/8 of an inch. So for centimetres, that's 7 by 3 for the early espresso, 2.5 by 7 for the crumb cake, and 2 by 7 for the DSP. That then makes a nice little raised stepper for you, and you can just pop a couple of, I've got mini dimensionals to hand. I would normally use full-size dimensionals on a stepper, but I've knocked things on the floor, so it doesn't quite work. So just pop that on, and there's our stepper. There we go, like so. And then all that remains is to decorate the front, and this is the same process for the front as for the sides, but you're going to instead do you're going to be doing it in the reverse colourway. So our layer is going to be crumb cake, followed by our DSP. So our layer of crumb cake is 2 3/8 by 1 1/8. So I can quickly whistle this in. So 2 3/8 by 1 1/8. So I'm using the side there to do that. And again, the DSP for the front panel is 2 1/4 by 1 inch. Okay, 2 1/4. Just check that. Yes, by 1 inch. It's going to go on like so. Now you can do this in 2 ways. You can either punch the circles first, or you can put them together and punch. Overall, I think, you know what, I did it the other way around in the others. It's more difficult to line up. So if you're confident with lining up, then do it the other way around. If not, then I would just do 2. And I come slightly further down, and then you can literally just pop that in there. It doesn't quite line up perfectly unless you punch all 3 layers together, but I think it still gives the effect and shows people where that little notch is. So there we go, 2 little Four Ferrero boxes ready to gift. I know I've got a friend who loves her Ferrero, and she quite looks forward to my Ferrero Fridays now, because it usually means she gets some Ferrero Rocher. Enjoy. Obviously my ladies at class often get my Ferreros. Fortunately most of them do like them. And there we go. Life happens, coffee helps, and thanks a latte for Ferrero Easel box card. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you need any of the products, shop online with me. Then you just go to the button which is on my the link which is below, or go to my blog and click on the button there. Take care. Bye for now.